It's great to be back with you all on TFG Tuesdays on American Aces. I've got a little task for you all. If you are tuning in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow us on @American Aces on all our social media channels and flick this podcast to anyone that loves the TFG himself or is just a footy fan. It's great to have our main man back in the building, Toby Green, coming to us live from Sydney. Tobes, there's plenty to talk about, and this is what I love about this concept. We get the review and the preview every week. Let's start off the top, though, with Channel 7 Friday night, Sydney Hawks. How was that experience, mate? Because you looked elite up there next to Kane Corns.
No, thank you, mate. Good to be here. It was an interesting experience. I really enjoyed it. It was there's actually a fair bit that goes into it in the sort of behind the scenes. You know, get there at 2 or 3 hours before the game. They have a sort of rehearsals. They speak about certain themes that might come up. You're connecting with the producers in the truck underneath the ground, and you know what the commentators do is pretty hard work. It's pretty special talent, I reckon. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's a lot to it, and something might come up a bit more in future. But it was a good experience, and it was a good game of footy as well. So it's good fun.
It was. They come back in the third. Who impressed you the most, though, mate, or what impressed you the most?
Probably just how much goes into it, and so. During the game, I was sitting next to Kane, and he'll be writing down themes or things that are happening in the game, perhaps for him to use during the week for his media commitments or to use at quarter time or half time. And you got to make decisions on the fly about what the viewers might want to see, and then just I think commentating in general is bloody hard. Like JB does an unreal job. Alistair Nicholson, BT on Thursday nights. It's a pretty good talent to be able to talk and project your voice while in live play. Footy's one of the harder ones to do, I reckon.
Yeah, well said. And you've all special comments, I would have thought. But who's your favourite commentator? Calling the plays. Who's your personal favourite when you listen to your highlights? Who do you love listening to?
Oh, well, we don't get to hear BT because we don't get given Thursday night games, but it probably would be him.
The big Bristol. A lot of people love or hate the Bristol, but we know we love him. He's from our neck of the woods. Very good, Tub. Well, how are you feeling, mate? Let's get straight into the game against the Pies. The hot Pies, well, they weren't that hot. You boys might have, well, maybe they are hot. We don't know. We needed about 4 weeks to judge every team, but you boys were hot, and you turned your form right around because I must say, as I said last week, it was a bit worrying going into round one, but you just flicked the switch.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we flicked it, but we certainly flicked it from the last couple of weeks. We thought our preseason was really strong up until those preseason games. So it was, I probably had a bit of nerves and a bit of uncertainty about how we'd go, but Pies were right with us to halfway through the last sort of. They were still 20 points behind, but that last 15 minutes sort of blew the game open. But it was as good a performance as you probably could have wanted. First one up, but 4 to go, mate. So a few more of them would be nice.
I love it, mate. Well, it's no better start than that. And as we know, there's a few to come back into the side. Talk about the midfield. Our man Finn, the $17 million man, I reckon they lowballed him, mate. They should have gave him 25 the way he was going about it. His speed live was impressive, and so does, we forget how good Chook Kelly is as well, but 69 and 2 snags between them two, while Snooze Bedford did his job on Dacos. And we'll talk about that in a second, the ground and the bodies and how the cramp and all that went. But let's just talk about those two mids. Geez, they were impressive. Have you seen that all pre-season?
Yeah, Finn's sort of been bubbling along, his last few years. This is probably it is the best pre-season he's had since he started his career. He had a few foot issues the first 2 years, so it's not surprising to the guys within the four walls, but that sort of performance, he probably hadn't had one yet in his career, but there'll be a lot more to come. He does a lot of work on it. He's a passionate kid. He's super talented, but he plays team footy as well. Everyone just loves playing with him. So he's a huge part of our group. And Chook's been doing that for the best part of 10 years. So it was great to see them rolling around, and our midfield definitely won on the day, which goes a long way to winning.
Certainly does. Let's talk about our man Pezza. He was really good as well. I thought he started unbelievable, Pez. He had 27 posies for the Pies, but did you have any good moments? As we said last week, everyone loves Pez, and I'm sure the Pies are loving him, but was there any funny moments, especially later in the game when you were up by 50?
No, I actually didn't have any words for him on Sunday. I was very. I had a few words with other boys, but not him.
Who'd you have a word with?
Oh no, me and Braz always have a few things to say to each other. It's always a bit of fun. It was he'd be probably a bit flat with how it ended up, but we didn't really cross paths, to be honest, mate.
You were forward for most of the day until late, and you had some great moments. 18 and a snag for you, which is a good day at the office. Let's talk about the conditions because it's well documented. Nick Dacos, the Brownlow favourite and arguably the best player in the comp, he was struggling, man. I struggled with cramps my whole career. I've had all the quinine tablets, pickle juice, bananas, you name it. The magnesium 2 nights out. I've had it all, but I don't reckon I've ever cramped that early. And I do feel sorry for him because once you do cramp, you literally can't run. And I was watching him and it was just, you felt sorry for him a little bit because he literally couldn't run. But I want to know, was the conditions that tough? I know it was warm, but it didn't feel like it was that warm in the stands.
It wasn't like it. We played that Adelaide game 2 years ago. That was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life by far. It was a lot hotter than yesterday, Sunday. It was humid. It was still warm, humid and hot. And, they're probably not used to Sydney's humidity in a way. But, it was bloody good for us, mate. It was good to see him going down in the third with a cramp because he is a superstar and it certainly affects your ability to play. I get cramps as well, but I was pretty good yet, to be honest, on Sunday. I didn't really get anything until maybe the last minute. But a few of our boys did, and then I think a lot of their boys did. So rounds 1 and 2, there's always a bit of that in the competition, and then you add some humidity in. It's gonna get you. But there's it's funny cramps. Like you're right. I take quinine before the game, eat my bananas. It's just it's one of those things. So once it comes, you're in big trouble. So if it comes early, then you count yourself out for a good day.
The boys must have been up and about, licking their lips a 3/4 time when he literally couldn't. The target player can't walk.
Yeah, well, when he went down in the forward pocket, I think we had a kick out. I said to the umpire, I said, "You can't stop the game for a cramp, mate. Come on, let's keep going." So that was they got the message, I think, and just game on from there.
That's so good. Well, mate, well done. Super performance, and it was great to watch live. I had Swanee on me left, just letting him know the scoreboard every 5-10 minutes. But you boys. Yeah, I think people forget how good you guys are. And, there's some certain players like Sam Taylor. He's one of them. He is a special player. He's a unique character, mate. But the way he goes about his footy, he's very hard to match up on. He's got to be, I think Matty Lloyd even said he'll go down in the history with, the best.
Well, yeah, he's just a freak, really. When he goes out to play, he sort of flicks a switch in his brain. Yeah, it's interesting, Slam. You never know what he's thinking, but it's always about getting the ball. It was a special game, and it's great seeing him and Hogs go at it all pre-season. Hogs probably had him, I reckon, but
he liked hearing that. So Hogs actually had him because that's good signs for when Hogs comes back in, the Coleman, favourite.
Yeah, well, it's just great watching two best forwards and backs in the comp going at it. And they obviously make each other better. And Slam was, able to put in an awesome performance Sunday.
Love it. What about Briggsy, mate? Is he okay? He went down with concussion neck. Not sure what it was, but is he all right?
Yeah, he's in concussion protocols, but he's all right. Yeah, he's just a bit sore,
sweet.
But yeah, he can't play this week, obviously, but he'll be fine after that game.
Well, that's good to know. Big fella cost me room passes, mate. Dill Addison was my main man there and couldn't get in there. But as long as Briggsy's all right, that's the main thing. So I couldn't say get out of you boys after the game. But
yeah, it's hard to get in there, mate.
Mate, when you beat the Pie, I'd imagine it would have been jam-packed opening round. Was it the biggest you've seen for a while?
Oh, you always get a good response after a win. There's no point coming down after a loss. So, no, it was good to see.
It was very good. Well, I've got a bone to pick, mate, but before I pick that bone, let's talk about the dramas on the bench. We love a bit of theatre in the game. And Kingsley v. McRae, I know which guy I've got me money on, but it was good to see, in my opinion. I'll start with my opinion. I don't mind the two coaches going head-to-head and the players and the coaches having a few words. few other people think differently. What's your thoughts on coaches on the bench having a couple of words to players when they run off?
Yeah, I don't mind it, mate. I reckon it's a bit of fun. There wasn't too much in it. Is what it is. I think I might have got a warning, and it is what it is. But it's I don't. It wasn't. There's nothing nasty about it, and probably adds to a bit of the theatre of the footy. You're right, so it's good.
Have you ever had a moment on the bench with a coach?
Nah, not really. Not many are on the bench these days, but I don't think so. There would have been a few times my coach has said something to me, but it's I've been pretty good.
Oh, you'd think Kingsley v. McRae. I mean, I saw King as to sit down, mate, and he sat down pretty quickly. But he's a big boy, Kingsley. Oh, man, just the pipes on him, mate. He's got to be the biggest at the Giants, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a big man. They're good mates though as well, so they got respect for each other. Yeah, he would be. He'd be the biggest at the Giants for sure. He can't run out of sight, but he'd be the biggest bloke.
He can't run out of sight. That's a good little whack there. Well, mate, it's time to talk about the bone I've got to pick with you and one of your teammates. Now, the thing I love about the Giants is when you kick a goal, you've all got your song that you pick. So break down how that works. The guy I want to talk about here is our Irish friend, Cal Brown. He's a superstar. I reckon when he gets the ball in the forward half, he is very hard to match up on. He kicks, I think, one of the goals of the year. He'll be a nominated one anyway. But his song is pathetic. It's the worst song I've ever heard, and Brownie needs to hear this. It's a KPI construction. Stop that from our man Rammer. I'll give you a tip. It is not good enough. He's got the taxi song off GTA or whatever it is, and it's the worst thing I've ever heard. I actually text my mates and said, I've got Cal Brown for 2 goals in me multi, and I'd rather lose me money than hear that song again. And he kicked another one. It's that bad. So if you can pass on the feedback, mate, that'd be good. We need a new song at NG Stadium when Brownie kicks a goal, because he's going to kick a few, and I can't have that song.
Yeah, it's that little ringtone sort of song, isn't it?
I think it's when you get in the car or a taxi in GTA, and it has that. I don't know. You have to get the edit up, mate. It's putrid. I was like, come on, Brownie. The crowd here is going to fall asleep.
Yeah, mate, I wouldn't know too much about it, to be honest. But he is into that sort of stuff. He likes that sort of stuff. So. Yeah, he'll get your message, mate. I'm not sure if he'll change it, but we'll wait and see.
Have you got it? I've got 5 songs here. I just thought I'd go through the Shazams and whatever I've been tuning in. Yeah, my music's pretty standard, but I've just got 5. Have you got a song that you could recommend?
Well, I don't have a song myself. I left it to the Giants to sort out.
You didn't pick one. I thought there's a song that you used to love. Is it Bad Boys, or what was the song you used to?
Yeah, I don't know what got played on the weekend. I left it up to the crowd. So, no, a lot of mine have got a few swear words in them and things like that. Aussie hip hop, no one likes that, just myself. So I just sort of stick it in my car and let myself listen to it.
All right, I'll go 5 off the top. I don't know if you'd like these songs, but I'm going to just go all through them and then you tell me the one you like the most. I've got 5 here, all different kind of tunes. I've got Higher by Creed, Some Days by Sonny, Federa, Jazzy and Dodd, or D.O.D. 3, Believe in Me, The Hotel Lobby. That's an extended mix there, Brownie. Then I've got Sorry by Joel Corey. And then the last one is Billy, Loving Arms by Fred again. There's 5 options. Which one do you like the most out of them, Tobes?
Oh, none of them are just jumping out at me. Fred again.
Tobes, you can't go. The Fred again. Everyone loves Fred again.
Yeah, no, he's on a heater at the moment, Fred again. So anything he pumps out is pretty good.
There you go. Well, Brownie, I told you I'd tell you on TFG Tuesdays. Lock in number 5. Fred again, right there. All right, let's get to the latest news in the AFL, mate. It's actually, hang on a second, latest news. We're about to talk about Melbourne Fashion Week. Has Zach Butters contacted you yet?
No, he hasn't. No. Did I go past him, did I?
Mate, congratulations. You are now the most fine player in the competition with $44,100. I want to ask you 2 questions. Number 1, what did Georgia, your missus, say when you got home when the news broke? And 2, do you need the American Aces boys to start a GoFundMe for the great man?
I don't need to GoFundMe. I caught my whack, learn my lesson. She was furious. She said, we got a fucking wedding to pay for this year. You said you'd stop this, so that's hopefully the last one.
That's good. I tuned into some footy with our man Callett last night, and I got 2 takes. Jordan Lewis thought you should have got 2 weeks, and John O'Brien said a fine is fine. So any feedback to Geordie Lewis? Has he forgotten about the game when he used to play?
He might have done a few things similar, but that's all right, mate. Everyone's got an opinion on that stuff, and is what it is. Move on now and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Just the straight bat from TFG coming to us there. All right, now Fashion Week. I saw Jackie Ginnivan and Dry Simpkin were walking down the runway. I think there was someone else as well. What's your thoughts on that? And if you had to pick one player from the Giants, who would be the guy that would love to put his hand up for something like that?
I didn't see that, but no, it's good. I reckon it's good players getting around that.
I loved it.
Cal Brown or Harry Himmelberg would be the 2 go-tos, I reckon. Connor Iden, one of those 3 would be the they'd get a good response, I reckon.
Who would love to do it, but there's just no chance?
Brent Daniels would love to do it.
I was thinking you're going to say Binger, and he'll be filthy with that Binger. Very good. Now, housekeeping on American Aces' behalf. Supercoach, hit that bio and sign up. We've got our league number in there and whatnot. But, Tobes, I've got some mail that you are driving the standards at the club with the Supercoach. You've tried to create a league and you're the commissioner. Is there any truth to that?
I'm not the commissioner, but I've driven the WhatsApp chat. It's been good. I drew pick 3, so that's tomorrow. So if anyone's got some advice on that, I haven't done it since I was in year 6, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it's all about. Pick 3. So yeah, get your listeners to come back to me with who I should take at 3.
That's good. Well, we'll put it up there. Who chose number 3? I'd have no idea. I haven't done it as well. It's my first year since probably similar times as well, mate. I think I got a few messages on the weekend. Me and Swanee were caught on the Channel 7 footage. BT gave us a couple of sprays. He said real mediocre.
You put yourself next to him, mate.
No, I didn't, mate. Callett put himself next to him because he knew that they were coming back with 2. Yeah. And anyway, we got a couple of messages watching a bit of the UFC and the Storm game and the Giants game anyway. And I'm hearing a rumour that Alex Pereira, he was actually at the Giants facility not long ago. And any truth to that as well?
Yeah, it was one of the stranger half an hours of my time at the club. The guys from Revel who do the saunas and ice bars had paid for him to come down, and he was going to come because he was in Sydney for the UFC. And then another company, sort of joint split the cost. They're going to hold it at the club. The boys are going to do a little kick and whatever with him. A few of the boys love him, so they were pretty excited. He did one of the companies was like the nose thing that they wear in UFC. I don't know, to stop your breathing or help your breathing, whatever it was.
The one that pops the nasals open or something. Yeah, I've seen those ads. Yeah.
So he was like wearing that and sort of boxing in the cage, and just a few of the boys we walked out of a meeting and everyone just sort of looked at him and started staring, and I think he got a bit freaked out. I don't really know what's happened. I sort of walked into the physio room and just sort of waited because I think I was going to have an ice bath with him. That was the plan. And then I walked out to the ice bars and one was 28 and mine was 3. I said, "What was his 28?" They said, "No, he doesn't really want to do it properly." I said, "That's ridiculous." And then a few of the boys walk out and go off, all these cars just drove off, all these black G-Wagons. I think he just left. And then the next 10 minutes, people are sort of working out what's happened. And I think he just freaked out. He didn't want all these people watching him. I don't know what he expected walking into a footy club, and he just left. And that was the last we heard of the Pereira team.
Oh no! So the Pereira's he's just left the TFG and the ice bath on his Pat Malone.
Well, I didn't get in there yet. I was waiting for him, but yeah, not one player met him. They just walked past him, and that was it.
And a lot of effort would have went into that as well.
He should have done that ice bath though, because he got poleaxed on the weekend.
Yeah, he did. He cost me and Swanee some money. We were watching that one live. It was a very boring fight as well. Not many blokes. They didn't throw many. You guys had speed. I show speed at the facility as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't there for that, but and I'm not a big YouTube man, so some of the young boys though that's their hero. So they were Darcy Jones has got it on his phone cover, I think. So they loved it. It was good content though. It was very funny, and Seek reenacts him before that, so it was great that he got to meet him, and it was some of the funniest stuff I've seen.
Yeah, that was good because he's pretty quick. I think a few of the boys beat him though. Like Jonesy beat him, didn't he?
Yeah, he wouldn't admit it, but he beat him, and then he beat Brownie, Brownie's the quickest once he gets going, but Das is quicker over probably 20 or 30.
That's good. I thought you'd be a big fan of his. He loves his soccer.
Yeah, I'm just not on YouTube, mate. I'm just not up with the times.
Well, you are now, mate. TFG Tuesdays. You're going to have to start getting around it. That's good. That's good insight. There you go. The UFC king should have jumped in the ice bath, mate. That's not good enough. Well, it's time to talk about this week coming up. Round one, opening round's done. It was a great week opening round for Giants. I felt like you guys got all the press. I don't know. I just felt like the timing and your performance. So well done, mate. Great big plus for Giants, and hopefully it grows the game out that side. And fifth quarter camps gets even more kids involved with you and Haynes and the boys. Righto, well, it's race day in Melbourne. The F1's going to be on, and there's a bit to talk about there. And they've also got the Giants taking on the Ds amongst all the other games. We won't talk about them. We'll just talk about you guys. Let's start off with the F1. Have you ever been to the F1 or had a chance to go to the F1? I'd imagine you haven't.
No, I haven't. I remember growing up in Melbourne, and you could hear it from ages away. But no, I've never been. But it seems like it'd be. Well, I'm not a big. To be honest, I'm not a big fan. So it's not. I'm not missing out on much. But a few of the boys really like it. I know Harry Himmelberg's a big fan. So it'd be pretty cool though. We can't stay at our usual hotel because I think it's all booked out or might be too loud. I don't know. So we're in Melbourne this weekend while that's on, and hopefully we get a few at the game on Sunday.
Well, it will be interesting to see who rocks up because, as we know, Melbourne will be just pumping anyway, and there'll be a lot of people at the F1. It's become a big sport. I'm a bit like you. I'm still getting my head around it. But there's one person that we love, and that's our old manager, Mel. She represents Mercedes. But the main man, Lewis Hamilton's now at Ferrari, Tub. There's a little bit of housekeeping there. And Oscar Piastri, the Aussie, he'll be racing for McLaren. So I ask you, who are you supporting? Mel from Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton at Ferrari, or Oscar, the Aussie, at McLaren?
Mel, she's a good, very good person. And yeah, well, who's driving for Mercedes these days, mate?
Oh, fuck, you've really stitched me up there. You've really stitched me up there. I know one of them. I can't think of, well, come on, Braden, get the bloody Google up or something. I can see his head, you know, that real,
yeah, I can't help you, mate.
I know one. I don't know who the backup is, though. Well, I've got a question for you while Brado's searching it. We'll get back to footy. If there was one sporting event you could have a leave pass for, a guaranteed Giants win because you knew that in the future, what's the one event you'd love to go and attend whilst the AFL season's on?
Yeah, it's a month. World Cup soccer. Oh, that's 2030. It's in like Spain, Portugal, Morocco, I think. So I think I've locked that in. I'll be done. So I'll get a little crew. I don't think I'll have a Bucks party, and I'll just save it for that.
That's like my Super Bowl. That's your biggest bucket list, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I was actually looking at it the other day because I think there's a couple of games in Argentina as well. But yeah, Spain, Portugal, Morocco that'd be fun. Yeah,
it would be, and it's meant to be one of the best events in the world. Righto, let's get to the game day. It's the Ds. They look like a different team this year. The mids, obviously, Christian Petrarca is well documented about a few dramas last year with he might have been on the outer, but he's back, committed. Ribs look good. He looks fit. Clary looks good. That midfield's stacked. Obviously, Max Gorn's one of the best ruckmen we've seen. You'd have to humble the group as a skipper, wouldn't you? Obviously, the boys would be walking around, you know, they'd be pretty up and about, but it gets to a point where you go, righto, boys got to reset. How's the boys kind of feeling about this game?
Starting to get into the week now. We reviewed the Collingwood game today, so no, it's a great opportunity, I reckon, to go down against, you know, a team that's, you know, could be back on the up. Really, they got a pretty, if not the best midfield in the comp, in the top 2 or 3. So it'd be a great battle for, you know, hopefully Greener's back as well. So be a great battle in there. And then at the G, you know, we only get to play one game a year there, so want to put in a good performance and get down to Melbourne and put on a good show. But no, we know what we got to do, and I don't think there'll be too much worrying about what happened last week. We'll move on later in the week and know what we need to do to beat Melbourne. It'll be good fun. Love it.
Did I just hear Tom Green might be playing?
Yeah, I think he's a chance. Yeah, I don't know if he's locked in yet, but he's pushing his case. He'll be a strong chance though.
And do you guys have to buy next week or the week after?
Yeah, we got the buy. So
So, geez, it'd be great to go 2-0. Oh, Tommy Green might be playing. Well, that's big because I think of Clayton Oliver and you think Tom Green, them two bulls can just go head-to-head and have the speed on the outside.
Yeah, it's a good battle, that one.
Jesse Hogan to be flat, not getting to play his old mob.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Hogs is sort of a wait and see as well, but he's definitely not playing. He would have played them many times before, but he be nice if he can get the same sort of service this way, or when he comes back, it'd be very handy for him.
Very handy. Quick one on a couple of guys. Now, I can't even say his name. I should know, but I thought it was Gronkowski, but it's Gruski. Gruski?
Grzeski.
Say that again.
Maxi Grzeski. Just call him G-Train, mate. G-Train.
Well, there you go. That's much easier. The G-Train. He looked great, the G-Train.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good man. He's an energy bunny. Competes hard, flies for balls. He's tough, and he works hard. So he's only 20 or 21, so he's got a lot of footy ahead of him.
Oh, that's good, mate. I just wanted to ask you a couple more questions about him because not many people know much about the G-Train. I'm going to continue to refer to him as the G-Train because me trying to spit that, you can see that 29 ATAR really coming out there, Tobes. Well, mate, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be Melbourne's going to be pumping this weekend, and like you said, is the G your favourite place to play footy outside of your favourite place away from NG Stadium?
Yeah, when you play a big final there and there's 70, 80, 90,000, it's what dreams are made of. It's no better place. Like growing up in Melbourne and going to those sort of games, it's as a kid, that's what I always dreamed about. So. No, it's definitely not lost on me when we get that opportunity, and hopefully we can make that happen again this year.
Maybe a couple of change room passes for the T-Train, mate. They got the boys were ready to go. We were all up and about, and we couldn't get down there. That was a disaster.
Is it? Yeah, you boys would have been humming, no doubt.
Yeah, I was all right. I only had a few beers. I was actually really enjoying the game. It was a great day of footy. Well, mate, that's TFG Tuesdays wrapped up. I'm loving it. We'll get some stuff going. What do you want me to start doing next week, mate? I thought we'd just get 2 weeks out the park. Keep it nice and generic, and then we'll slowly intro a segment. But should we get everyone to comment on YouTube, some ideas, some feedback? What do you want?
I'm keen to hear what people say about this pick 3. I actually need some help genuinely. So if they could come back to me, that'd be good.
All right, everyone listening, comment on YouTube. We're doing something different this year. It's instead of having everyone write in on social media or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we're just going YouTube. Toby loves YouTube. So get on YouTube and comment what you think of the podcast. Let Toby know who we should take with pick 3 and any segments or any questions for next week. And we'll start to reward them, Tobes. You've told me you'll sign a few jerseys. We're going to do them, every 6 or 7 games. So plenty of awards coming, and we might start picking the best comment of the week and put them in a little hat here and pick it out. Mate, that's all we've got. I know you got 360 on your doorstep. You're doing a lot of media this time of the year. It's good to see, mate. I reckon this is feedback from me to you, but I think you've got a brain for footy like no one other, and you speak really well. And it's going to be something that whenever your footy career is done, you'll be a great asset in that commentary room, mate. So keep it up. It's good to see.
I appreciate it, mate. Well, there's a bit to it, especially the start of the year. You got to do a little bit more, but certainly come full circle in it. Used to hate the media, mate, when I was 22, 23. So it's good. It's good fun. And and I enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it.
That's good. Well, mate, good luck this week. I'll probably see you. Keep up the good work. And if you need any help with the GoFundMe page, mate, just let us know. We've got a few boys that love the TFG. We can round up a bit of cash for you.
No, I'm not running that, mate.
I'm only joking, mate. I know you cop them straight on the chin. All right, well, that's TFG Tuesdays. We're opening round done. The Giants win by 52 points. Tobes has 18-1, and the leads by example at the front. It's a great start. We are loving the podcast. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us on the social media channels and send this podcast to your friends. Comment on YouTube. Number 3 pick. Any ideas for segments and any feedback? Tobes, I'll see you next week.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you very much.